Sorry. If you're wondering why I'm laughing so much, it's because LSU is an absolute dumpster fire.
They're garbage.
What's up, Internet? Oh my God, I'm so excited. Jeff, college football is back. It's been way too long. Yesterday was just an amazing day. And, you know, the things we like to do on this channel are talk about things that we are passionate about. You and I are absolutely passionate about college football. I'm so excited that it's finally back. Alabama won yesterday. Florida won yesterday. LSU lost. So for the purposes of the people on this call, all is right with the world. Yep. How's it going, man?
It's good, man. It was really good to see fans in the stadiums, you know, packed houses. Coronavirus is still out there, which sucks, but it is good to have some normalcy come back, especially what I've been through the last, couple of weeks.
Yeah. Sorry to hear that, man.
I appreciate it, dude. For y'all that don't know, my dad passed away a couple weeks ago. And that's been tough. He was a huge Florida fan, but it was good I watched the game with my brothers and stuff, so it's nice to get away from, reality and watch some college football, and there were some really good games this weekend.
Yeah, I had just an absolute blast last night. Straight off the bat, I mean, I know we'll just get it out of the way because it's kind of the 800-pound gorilla. Nobody reloads like Alabama.
No.
People were surprised that Bryce Young was able to step in and broke a bunch of Bama passing records for their quarterback's first start at Alabama. And I'm like, you shouldn't be surprised. It's been happening for 13 years. So I don't want to dwell too much on that. I know everybody hates Alabama. So
hey, I'm a Florida fan and I don't hate Alabama. At this point you have to respect what they do. I mean,
yeah, that's the thing. People are like, oh, they're making the game not fun and they're taking away the parity in college football and all that stuff. And it's like, this shouldn't be happening. What you're seeing shouldn't be allowed to happen, but it is happening. Like, people should be applauding Nick Saban for being able to do this.
Yeah, year after year
in this day and age. Yeah, the dude just doesn't quit, man. Let's talk about Florida. I have to confess, I did not get a chance to see a single play of that game, but I looked at some of the stats and the box score and stuff, and as I understand it, you guys might have a little quarterback controversy on your hands. What's going on there?
The deal with that is, if you were to take Cam Newton and Tim Tebow and combine their abilities together, you would have AR-15, which is the backup quarterback we have now.
Richardson is he's that good?
Just do me a favor and go watch the highlights of him running the football, or even him throwing the football. He is 6'4", like 240 pounds, and probably runs a 4.4, and can do in warm-ups. They said, I didn't get to see it, but in the warm-ups they said he did a back handspring in warm-up, a freak of an athlete.
He's one of those just freaks of nature. Did you got to see the Bama Miami game, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Did you see the part where Todd McShay? By the way, he looks rough, dude.
Yeah, he does.
He's sick. I don't know if he's sick or on some kind of steroids or something, but he's something's wrong with him.
Yeah, he doesn't look right.
Did you see the little video they showed of the 6'7", 370-pound lineman who can do the box jumps and then do the splits?
Yeah, the split box jumps. That's nuts.
How is that allowed? How is he allowed to be that good, to be that athletic? That's nuts.
I've never seen normal sized people do that.
I didn't know that was even a thing.
Yeah.
What drunken person did that on accident and then realized, you know what, this is a good way to measure athleticism. That's insane, dude. Yeah. Anyway, back to Florida. So Emory Jones just didn't really have it yesterday.
I hate to talk bad about him because I do like him and I've been waiting for him to be the starter, but we played FAU, we should have just washed the field with them. It shouldn't have been a contest at all.
It was 14-0 at halftime. I think you guys, won by 21, but still, first game of the season. I mean, you never know how things are going to go.
Yeah.
And I've been saying for a while that I've never really been personally super impressed with Emory Jones. I mean, he's one of those guys that he reminds me a lot of Jalen Hurts with a lot less, no offense, a lot less talent around him, and especially now because all your skill position players are gone.
Yeah.
Not all, but I mean, you know what I mean. Last year, just like Alabama, same thing. So I'm interested to see what AR-15 is able to do. You think he's going to be the starter in week 3 when Bama comes to the Swamp?
I hope Mullins isn't too too proud to start him. I guess I could put it that way.
Is he a true freshman?
He was there last year, but I don't know if they're going to count that as actually one of them, because I thought that with the coronavirus stuff,
everybody gets a
free year
redo, basically. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, he's a freshman. Whether he's a red shirt or a true freshman, I'm not sure. But I just know Mullins. He's the quarterback whisperer. And after the game, one of the media guys came up to him, was saying, "Well, who's the starting quarterback?" And Mullins looked at him like he was an idiot and said, "Emory Jones is the starting quarterback." What are you talking about?
I did see that, where he was like, "Obviously, Emory's our starter," and I'm like, "Bro, you play the best player who's going to give you the chance to win.
Exactly.
Who cares about loyalty and all that stuff?" Like,
I understand what he's doing, because Emory Jones has waited his turn. He didn't transfer like a lot of these quarterbacks are doing.
Yeah. True.
So if he doesn't start, I feel bad for him, but I mean it's cut and clear that AR-15 is way better than he is. I mean, athletic wise, and from what I saw passing the football, I mean, Emory Jones had 2 picks against FAU and threw the ball right to the defenders. I mean, right to them.
It's rough, man.
So I don't know if it was you could just look at his eyes and tell, like, he's not in this game. Like, something's going on. Like, he had zero emotion, and then as soon as AR-15 went in, it was a different ballgame. Like, it was, the crowd was getting hyped up, the players seemed to play better. Kind of like when Tebow used to go when he was a freshman. You have that person that pulls the team together and excites the crowd. I mean, that's what you want.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to see it. How did your defense look so far?
They looked really good. It was the bend don't break. First half, like they were giving up some yards, but then they would stop them or get a fumble return. They look a lot better than they did last year. Again, it's FAU. Like, we should have, not let them get 50 yards of offense. In my opinion. Yeah, I mean, we're a top tier program, and this is FAU with, Willie Taggart as the head coach. Give me a break.
Willie Taggart's their head coach?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, Willie has 2 L's in it, I think. Yeah, so that's interesting. Well, let's talk about some of the other games. I was pretty much falling asleep during the Clemson Georgia game. It was a good game in the sense that it's 2 really good teams, but like
no. It was really good defenses.
Yeah. It should have been 2 good teams. Yeah. I called it, I've been calling it for several months now. I'm like, look, Georgia's going to beat Clemson. Clemson's offensive line was suspect last year, and yeah, they do return 4 starters from 2020, but when you return 4 guys that are just average anyway, like, is that really a good thing?
Yeah.
And Georgia's front 7 is probably the best in college football. I think at the end of the day, Alabama will have something to say about that, but it's still early. It was more of like to the point where their offensive line was going to get Uiagalelei killed. I mean, just like it was 7 sacks, I think, last night for Georgia. I was very impressed by them. Their offense, as usual. But I mean, they won the game pretty convincingly. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I was watching the Florida game, so I was flipping back and forth because they came out at the same time. But what I saw was an unimpressive offense for both teams. Like, you can talk all you want. Oh, their defenses are that good; they can stop offenses. Well, you get an offense going against them that can score some damn points. I mean, everybody's hype on JT Daniels. He didn't show me shit.
Yeah, I was not super buying into the JT Daniels hype from last year. I was like, guys, pump your brakes a little bit. He started against teams like Missouri, South Carolina, those kind of teams. I was like, look, yeah, he's 4-0 as a starter, but I mean, just let's see him against the real team. And he made 1 bad decision last night through an interception. Luckily, didn't cost them that much. But I'm still in wait and see mode. To me, it looked like just your standard Georgia offense.
I mean, it's a pretty bad it's a pretty bad time whenever the only touchdown scored was from a pick 6.
Yeah, no, I know Georgia's pretty much well, not all of them, but a lot of their receivers are hurt. The skill position players are still trying to get back and that kind of stuff. And plus they but Eric Gilbert transferred. Eventually he was going to go to Florida.
He was at Florida and they left.
Yeah. And then he transferred to Georgia and he's nowhere to be found. So I don't know what his deal is. He's a head case, I guess. But Clemson, I've been saying for a while, is going to take a step back. They just can't, like, without Trevor Lawrence and
ETN.
in ETN, they are a good team, but like they were never truly elite. I mean, they were really good with Deshaun Watson. I mean, they beat Alabama for, give them their credit. But, I don't, the whole Dabo versus the world thing just can't keep it up forever. Like you can't keep saying, "Oh shucks, we're not getting any respect," and blah blah blah. It's like that shtick only works for so long, And speaking of which, rip to the ACC, I guess, right? I mean,
it's pretty bad when they start talking about when to join ACC and they're like, "We don't want
you." Yeah, their top 3 teams lose. I mean, North Carolina going down to Va Tech wasn't that much of a shocker, I guess. But at the same time, it was like, this is supposed to be a top 10 team. I mean, people are saying Sam Howell can be in the Heisman conversation, whatever.
Right.
It's just funny because this was Clemson's only shot to really impress the playoff committee. I mean, and yeah, it's early. They could destroy everybody else on their schedule. But when everybody else on their schedule can't beat Gulf Breeze High School, then who cares?
We got a problem.
And so, yeah, I mean, that conference is in for a world of hurt right now. It looks like it's just like any other year, pretty much. Right now, it looks like it's SEC and then a huge drop off, and then Ohio State. Not even the Big Ten, just Ohio State, and then another huge drop off, and everybody else.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. It's just ACC, especially North Carolina. Like when I saw that they were preseason ranked 10, I'm thinking like, in what world are we living in that North Carolina, the basketball school, is going to have a powerhouse football team? Yeah, they're getting better, and they are better. But give me a break. That's like saying that Kentucky is, number 1 in the SEC. It's like, get out of here. And Florida State's going to get their asses whipped tonight.
Yeah, they were. North Carolina was actually pretty good last year, but like
But look who they played. They played the All ACC conference. ACC is garbage, dog water.
The basketball schools that try to be football schools it's just like Alabama. Alabama's a football school. Yeah, their basketball team may be ranked number 2 or top 5 at some point, but like they're never going to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, it's not their thing. Florida's one of those weird examples where they just can do great at both. In the mid 2000s, I used to I was just like, come on, enough of this crap.
They were winning swimming, softball, baseball, basketball, football.
Yeah. Let's talk about LSU and how in 2 years' time, Ed Orgeron has destroyed this program. And I've been saying it since they won in 2019. I told people, look, yes, they won the championship. You cannot take that away from him. But anybody with a brain should be able to see it was always J's. Joe Burrow, Joe Brady, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase. He had 5 really, really good skill players and 2 top-notch coordinators.
And great offensive and defensive line too, though.
Yeah, and people don't give Dave Aranda enough credit. Their defense has sucked since he left.
Oh yeah.
And he was the only reason Orgeron was even employed for those first couple of years before Burrow came in. And this guy is just a fraud. I mean, he's an absolute clown. And people on Facebook and YouTube gave me so much crap for talking shit about Ed Orgeron. They're like, you just can't throw out 2019. You can't pretend like it doesn't exist. I'm like, look at Gene Chizik's career coaching record outside of Cam Newton and tell me Ed Orgeron is not the exact same thing outside of Joe Burrow. It's the exact same thing. He's Gene Chizik 2.0. And it would not surprise me if he's let go before the season's over.
Yeah, he's not it. He's not it, and I'm with you. I said that from the beginning. They had a really great team, and that's the only reason they won. It wasn't coaching. It wasn't their decisions that made them win that game. It was pure athletic talent.
Yeah, you or I could have been calling plays for that team and won 10 games with our eyes closed. And Orgeron is a great recruiter. He's a great defensive line coach. He's not a head coach. He's one of those guys that he puts the pieces together, and then if his coordinators are not home run hires, then he's trash. And
I've said the same thing about Will Muschamp. Will Muschamp is a great defensive coach. A horrible head coach. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. Well, it was a pretty crazy week 1. I think that a lot of people are, discounting the fact that last year everybody got a COVID exemption, right? Anybody can come back no matter what their school grade was, right? Did you see did you see how many like super upperclassmen that UCLA had on defense, starting defense? It was insane. They had 4 seniors, like 4 fourth-year players. They had 5 fifth-year seniors and 2 sixth-year seniors. That is nuts.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
All 11 of their starters were like fourth-year seniors or above. And a lot of smaller programs like this, I think, are going to be able to keep up with bigger programs because most of the big programs lost a lot of people early to the NFL. And, you know, that's why we haven't even talked about Tulane, you know, almost, you know, destroying Oklahoma's season. I'm still not sold on Spencer Rattler. I know everybody loves him.
Oh, my God, dude. I'm so tired of hearing about him.
They still don't have a defense. And I got blasted on YouTube and Facebook for people saying, oh, you don't watch the games. I'm like, I do watch the games, dude. Their defense is garbage.
Yeah, and I watched them beat my Florida Gators, you know, last year in the bowl game with Florida. And they're like, well, you can't, it doesn't matter who shows up. Bullshit, that matters. Half the team was opted out of the damn game. Like, and Oklahoma started every single player, you know, except for, I think, one that didn't come to the game. I'm sorry, get out of here. Yeah.
Not coaches, you know. So anyway, it was an absolute great first week of college football. I think that's probably where we can go ahead and end it. Any final thoughts before we end it?
No, I'm just looking forward to the night, you know, even though it is Notre Dame and Florida State, but I think they're going to get waxed by Notre Dame.
My wife is a Florida State fan, so you know, I will just try to be quiet because Notre Dame. I don't know. I think Notre Dame's gonna beat them. I don't think Notre Dame's really even that good. But
I don't know.
Another dumpster fire right now.
And what sucks is
not the answer.
I'm a Florida fan and I'm supposed to hate, you know, Florida State, but every year Florida's done good. Florida State's been good. You know what I mean? Like it's always been like the last game of the season. You look forward to it because you're either both undefeated or 1 or 2 losses. And the last 3 or 4 years, it's just been, besides last year we didn't play them, but it's just been Florida State's garbage. I mean, they are really bad.
Yep. Well, guys, it's been fun. Thanks for hanging out with us. Look forward to some more of these recaps every week. As always, like and subscribe. We appreciate you hanging out. Fan out.
Fan out.
See you later.